let me introduce to you a little bit about the history of Aizubange. This town history is quite old, over 1,000 years old. It prospered as a transportation hub during the Edo period, and even now we can still find some traces of that past. Aizubange Town, a really nice old temple. This is one of the oldest temples in Aizubange. Eryuji is the name of the temple. Let's go see. There's a pagoda, there's a big gong, and the temple is just over there. Let's take a look. I don't think there's anything else, so there's a pagoda. What else can we find here? Let's take a look. One time. I think I'll try it one more time. That wasn't very good. That was much better. This is Eryuji Temple. It is as old as the history of Bange itself. Visitors are very surprised at the Kannon statue made in the 1200s. This statue, or Bodhisattva of Compassion, is also called Senju Kannon. There are supposedly 1,000 hands. If you look hard, maybe you can find 1,000 hands. Also, this statue is very surprising because it is carved from a single large tree, which is the only of its kind in Japan. The Kannon, Bodhisattva of Compassion, with 1,000 arms, and I think it's 1,200 years. Sorry, no, 800 years old, over 800 years old. So it was built in 1200 AD, approximately. I'm not sure how tall it is, but probably 6 or 7 meters tall. So as I was saying, that people want to touch and connect with the Bosatsu or the Bodhisattva statue, but of course you can't touch it. So instead, of course, part of the building itself is, for good luck. Give it a hug, as if you were hugging the Kannon statue itself. After visiting Eryuji Temple, let's take a look around Aizubange Town. In Aizubange Town, here in Aizu, the image of ramen noodles is strong. Kitakata ramen noodles are famous. However, the most undisputed specialty of Aizu is soba. It has been enjoyed locally for about 400 years. The soba here has a solid consistency and a very white color. There are a great number of soba making masters in Aizubange Town. In Bange, you are guaranteed to find many places to eat delicious soba noodles. The buckwheat noodles here are made from 100% buckwheat flour and will deteriorate unless you make noodles and eat them within 2 days. Therefore, you should make your way here to eat them. That's the best way. Now, let me introduce you to Mr. Uchiumi, a young soba noodle master. He runs a farm called Wakamiya Bakusaku. You can experience making Japanese soba here. Let's give it a try. He is Mr. Hiroshi Uchiumi, an authentic soba meister. Now, why don't we take a look at the true skills of a traditional soba meister? The soba meister's freshly made noodles are true perfection. Soba making is an art form, and he is a noodle virtuoso. Now it's my turn. Let's try to mimic as closely as possible the skills of a soba meister. Let's go.
Now it's my turn. Finally, the soba meister is here. Soba meister, Mr. Hiroshi Uchiyumi's soba is very beautifully crafted.
After about a minute of boiling, we're ready to eat. Let's bring it into the next room. Chow down.
これからもそばにいようね。そばにいようね。
いや、そうだよ。いや、美味しいよ。
Aizubange Town.
When I came to Japan almost 17 years ago, one of the first places I came to was a taro-un sweets shop. Whenever I would feel homesick, I would eat some of their sweets and then it would ease my loneliness. Many years later, now with my children, we actually come here to either buy their birthday cakes or just to get desserts. One of the famous sweets over here is called the tenjin-sama. One of the most famous sweets and one of my favorites here is called the tenjin-sama. It's really delicious and there are many different flavors. There's the plain one, which is cheese flavored, there's chocolate, strawberry, and even walnut flavored. This wonderful jolly man here before you is the boss of taro-un.
This one? No, this is big strawberry cake.
Is this real?
Big strawberry.
It looks like a real strawberry.
Yes.
Oh, wait. No, it's not.
Mousse? Yeah. Strawberry mousse.
Strawberry mousse? Oh, really? Okay.
Chocolate and walnuts.
Walnuts, okay.
It's good. Banana and strawberry. And caramel. Yeah. Banana and cream. Banana. Fruit.
Can I try it? Yeah, okay.
Fruit right. ハンバーガーみたいだね。
Yes.
ハンバーガーみたいだね。
Yes.
ハンバーガーみたいだね。
Yes. I did some good shopping today. So the wife and kids will be happy. And my stomach is happy. Now it's time to go do some jogging.
Aizubange Town.
For me, this is very dangerous going to a vintage shop. I think I'll buy many things. So this is probably from, I would say, CHUOU, maybe 1950s vintage goods, retro goods. Let's go take a look, see what's inside. Maybe we'll find something. Wow, look at all these relics from the past. Here, you can find treasured Japanese vintage goods collected by the owner. It's an amazing sight of the now precious junk, mainly from the 1950s and 1960s. Okay, so now the owner and I will attempt to make this rubber-powered airplane, which was quite common in the 1950s and 60s, but also popular with children even in my generation. Let's see if we can make it.
Now, let's make a rubber band powered toy airplane.
One of my favorite toys as a child is a rubber-powered airplane.
よく飛ぶので
This seems like it will fly well.
Okay, now that we've built it, let's see if this thing can actually fly. Let's wind up the motor, which is an elastic. Wind it up, and let's see. 1, 2, 3.
He said that it would fly well. I hope that it will take off to the air. Fly, come on, fly! Did he succeed this time? Let's hope so. In Aizubange Town.
Next, let's talk about Planning Co Ltd. The textile industry has been thriving in Japan for a long time. There are traditional textile industries throughout Japan. However, with the passage of time, these textile industries have unfortunately been in decline. However, here in Aizubange, the traditional textiles are once again spotlighted in this modern age. Aizu cotton making has been passed down from that era, and it has an unchanged way of doing things. It keeps its vintage manufacturing method as it was at that time, with cotton products and designs not only made in Japan, but overseas in countries such as Thailand and others. Let's have a look at the wonderfully woven fabrics.
This is Mr. Sota Sato, the founder of Planning. Mr. Sota often works with overseas designers to develop products with designs that utilize Aizu cotton. He's also exploring new possibilities for the use of Aizu cotton.
Cotton is quite cool, you don't sweat so much. Maybe I should try a different color. This is a nice purple color. Let's try something different, maybe a different color. Thank you, I think I'll try a blue. Alright, let's go. What do you think about this?
とてもお似合いですね。
I like blue, but I also like the green one and the purple one. I think I might get all three. Okay?
All three.
Yes. Can I get all three?
Sure.
Thanks. All right.
Go.
That's
Sure.
Thanks. All right.
Go.
That's
Sure.
Thanks. All right.
Go.
Let's go.
In the Aizu area, there are many artists who make crafts using Aizu cotton. When you come to Aizu, you can buy these various products at souvenir shops. Why not get one for yourself as a souvenir or a memento of your visit to Aizu? In Aizubange Town,
Japan, Tohoku, and Aizu are not usually thought of to be famous for milk or dairy products. However, Japanese milk is actually quite good. This is because the milk here is of the highest quality compared to other milk factories in Japan. Aizu CHUOU NYUGYOU industry is a great milk factory with fans all over Japan. The people who live here in Aizubange Town usually give these dairy products to friends as souvenirs. Next to the factory, you can also find an ice cream parlor where you can eat some really amazing ice cream and yogurt that the makers are very proud of. At Aizu CHUOU NYUGYOU industry, you can experience making butter as well, using really awesome milk. And the result is very, very delicious. You should try it. It's really good.
well, I then started making butter by hand. It turned out to be a long and tiring process. Now, let's give it a go and see if we have what it takes to make butter. You can make butter by mixing whipped cream and milk. Then, shake, 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 shake. Shake it.
やっぱりマラカスみたいなの作った方がいい。なるほど。
Milk maracas. This is quite hard. My arms are getting a little sore. Very tiring indeed. Shake, 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 shake. Shake it as if it were a maracas. Finally, after much work, a lot of shaking, you can see the finished product here. We have some butter. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Finally done. Great work. My efforts resulted in a daily dairy staple, delicious butter. In Aizubange Town,
Miso is one of the most indispensable seasonings for Japanese people. Miso is a paste-like seasoning that is made with fermented soybeans and aspergillus. Just as soy sauce is famous as a seasoning particular to Japan, miso is just as important to Japanese people as soy sauce is. It is no exaggeration to say that miso soup is always lined up on the Japanese table. Throughout Japan, as here in Aizubange Town, there are many nice miso breweries that boast high-quality miso. Above all, the Meguro Kojiten store has not abandoned its traditional method of making miso. At Meguro Kojiten store, you can experience making miso using a traditional and authentic method. You can make your own old-fashioned miso.
Yeah, so again, this is rice, dried rice, and then white rice, which is dried. And here we have the Aizu beans, which are salted. And we mix these together in the...
こっちに入れる。オッケーオッケー。こっちに入れる。はいはいはい、オッケーオッケーオッケー。ドーンと入れず、ドーンと入れず、ドーンと入れず、全部。全部。でこの水は地下水。要は水道水は使う。塩素が入ってるから。地下水。
well water, it's not sink or tap water, it's natural or well water. Compress it 3 times to try and mix the good.
麹の塊を豆の方にどんどん入れていく。難しい。
mix, mix it, mix, 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 mash it all up. It's very thick and hard to mix. Put your back into it. It's definitely strenuous work.
もうそうすると混ざってきちゃう。もうそうすると混ざってきちゃう。もうそうすると混ざってきちゃう。
The preparations for making miso paste were completed in about 30 minutes. It was hard work, but if you don't follow this method, you won't be able to make delicious miso such as this.
Let's try it, see what it's like. Salty. Tastes good.
で完成ね。塩。
So finished pounding the miso into a paste and put it into this little tub here, and we have to wait probably half a year, well, 6 months, maybe until springtime, until June. He was saying until June. At the end of June, we'll open it up and see what it looks like. All right.
In Aizubange Town,